What up? It's your boy T-Bone Reaction. Today is Films Friday, and everybody get into the meat and potato of Films Friday, the main course, which is the dead meat kill counts. So I didn't make a poll this week because I've been very busy, a lot going on right now. And so I did a last minute poll based on newer kill counts I did not react to. That is pretty much anything that's came out since then as well too, not including the video game kill counts. I am about to really think about it because I did a Resident Evil one, which did like 2 days. That was like, I mean, as much as pretty cool we do the video game kill count, but I'm about to rethink about this. Unless they do a more common one, I'll check it out. But yeah, other than that, I did a poll on them. So the latest one, I'm pretty much in order of latest to earliest of the new. There was one that I have not done because I had done some already. Which, if I can go to it, it included. If I can get to it real quick. Here we go. It included just now the as of above the solo was did yesterday, or I did Smile Substance. Of course, I did Terrifier 3 as well as the 28-week layers and violent nature, as well as Maximal Overdrive and Nosferatu. Of course, Children of Corn and Thanksgiving. So that being said, the fours I did input was Maniac came out in 1980. Fresh, It's a Wonderful Knife, and Creep. And based on your choices, if I can go to it real quick. Oh my god, I gotta re-grab it again. Majority I picked Maniac, so we're going to check that out. Now, I have checked out the Count the Dead of it as well too. So name now with the movie itself, I can check out the full story behind the movies along with the kills as well too. And I heard this is like one of them wild movies that came out in the early 80s. So without further ado, let's check out the kill count for the cult classic Maniac. Let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Maniac, released in 1980. Maniac is an early slasher, among those that came out right after Halloween, and it has a lot in common with its contemporaries. Namely, a deliberate pace, a lack of real characters, and graphic as hell kills, courtesy of Gore Daddy Tom Savini. What makes Maniac stand out is its killer Frank Zito. We spend way more time with him than any of his victims, kind of putting us in his shoes. And those are not shoes you want to wear. Frank is a disturbed and extremely sensitive guy whose sexual frustrations are worse than Jake Barnes.
Why did you need those other men? They didn't love you. I did.
While that's not a unique trait among serial killers, real and fictional, Frank is hella compelling thanks to actor Joe Spinell, who also co-wrote the screenplay. Spinell was all over 70s cinema, working with Scorsese and acting in The Godfather.
That's why I thought that was some. I thought that was some from The Godfather too. Yeah, The Godfather.
While he often played an unsavory guy, Frank Zito is less mobster and more messed up mommy issues. Spinell is guided here by director William Lustig, who would later make the Maniac cop movies and Uncle Sam. Remember that one? Good stuff.
Yeah.
Prior to Maniac, his only 2 credits were 2 hardcore pornos he directed under the alias Billy Bag. For his
Oh boy. And then another person had that same kind of, another one of these, I see.
horror debut, Lustig wanted the film to feel unsafe and make viewers question the sanity of the people who made it. The end result was a little giallo and a lot of sex and violence, which he and Spinell considered the commercial ingredients of the film. Maniac's not only a slasher, it's a low-budget exploitation film. I had to laugh when I saw it was on 4K. This thing was shot on the cheapest 16mm stock available. I don't think it's gonna show up on Nicole's screen in the AMC ad. I mean, I still bought it, of course, but unless you want to do some kind of AI upscaling with this, which you shouldn't, there's no polishing any sheen into this. It's a complete grime fest shot guerrilla style in 1979 in New York City. So you know I'm gonna love this shit. Cheap horror movies have a unique way of showing us what a city really felt like in the past. They're out there with a camera and no permits. They ain't dressing any streets. This is what these places actually looked like. In the end, I appreciate the concept of Maniac more than I enjoy watching it. It suffers from a little slasher slog, with some sequences going on for way too long. But Frank Zito is a great character, the music is solid, the effects are fantastic, and it's got a Bond girl. That's good enough for me. What you gonna do when the Maniac kill count runs wild on you? Before I answered that though, I had to ask myself a different question. What was I gonna do when the dangers of the modern internet ran wild on me? After all, for a 21st century kill counter, there are threats around every corner, like the men in the middle.
I'm setting up a fake guest Wi-Fi for you to connect to.
Fishers.
This is your childhood best friend, Robin. I'm not Robin.
And of course, the dreaded malware, transmitted over email, downloads, and advertisements, lurking, waiting to strike when you're unprepared. But that's why a 21st century counter also has a modern solution.
Today's sponsor, NordVPN.
NordVPN protects you from malware and ads with its threat protection feature that's always on the lookout, whether your VPN is running or not. And you can take it up a notch with CyberSec, which you can turn on to avoid malware hosting websites and annoying ads. Plus, with the ability to connect to up to 10 devices, you can ensure you're protected at home and on the go. And when you use our link, you'll get a huge discount on a 2-year plan plus 4 additional bonus months at nordvpn.com/deadmeat. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Get it at nordvpn.com/deadmeat or click the link in the description below. My lead-in that I wrote got interrupted by the ad, but let's get to the kills. The movie begins with some sightseeing. Down by the beach, boy! A couple sleeping on the beach. But when the guy goes off for firewood, a killer comes POVing towards the lady. He grabs her neck and slits her throat open with a razor blade. Look at all that red blood. All while her man fetches sticks like a dumb dog. He comes back and gets told to heal by the killer via guarantee, a word I've known since I was a kid, only because of horror movie kills. The things you learn with this life of mine. The killer is Frank Zito, a real title card. He lives amidst the creepiest doll collection this side of the Warrens. What else you amassing in your man cave, bud? A bunch of keys? Oh, that's cool. Oh, and a pirate from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. You know, I hear there's a real skull in there. When Frank's not busy feeling on his titty scars, he's prowling the streets of New York, kind of like these sex workers.
I need one more trick to make my rent.
Frank comes across them and Purple Shorts hits him up, sounding like Frankenhooker.
You wanna go out?
He's looking for some action, so he goes with her into a
I always say I would if they had the original 5 spots for the poll, I would have added Frank Hooker in there as well too. By the way, just to let you know. I'll probably do that next time.
a motel where the clerk's wearing a V-neck undershirt. God, I love a good motel clerk. I just want to see the 3 of these guys in a sitcom together, you know? This clerk was actually played by director William Lustig at the insistence of Joe Spinell, who kept trying to make him crack up on camera by writing funny things on the card he gives him. Frank takes the girl upstairs with him, and you can tell it's gonna be money well spent. Always exciting to do it with a chick who looks bored out of her mind. They get up to bed gymnastics, complete with making out and spanking cheeks. She's actually into it until he starts choking her full force. Yeah, this ain't anyone's kink. He chokes her so hard she briefly turns into another person, but she's back to being the sex worker by the time he finally strangles the life out of her, putting another victim on the kill count. Frank has a quick guilt vomit in the bathroom and complains aloud to his mom.
Why'd you let me do that?
Yep, this snot-nosed crybaby has mommy issues. Shocking, I know. He returns to the sex worker's body and scalps her, with the movie relishing on a close-up of the act. Really showing off Savini's work. Oh, and then he takes the scalp off and exposes some brain? Damn, man, this is pretty good shit. Tom Savini was still working on Friday the 13th in New Jersey when Lustig hit him up to work on Maniac. Savini was upset that a lot of his effects were being cut from Friday, so they convinced him by saying that wouldn't happen here, promising to release Maniac unrated. That was enough to convince Savini to take the job, despite the low budget and how last minute it was.
I don't think there was much preparation of anything, really.
For this scene, Savini made a latex scalp from a cast of actress Rita Montone's head. It had tubing glued underneath it that allowed blood to be pumped in off screen. He then attached the scalp to Montone's head with mortician's wax, resetting the whole thing between each take. Frank heads back to his home sweet home and introduces his current collection of mannequins to the newest member of their family. He lays it on the bed and dresses it in the sex worker's clothes and gives it her scalp. Oh, that's why he scalped her. And that's why the other mannequins have all got bloody faces. He's using them as trophies for his victims. Ha! Everything makes perfectly rational sense now. Joe Spinell helped write the script for Maniac, always intending to play Frank Zito himself. He extensively researched numerous serial killers like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Richard Speck, David son of Sam Berkowitz, and of course Ed Gein. He noticed a lot of them had mommy issues that played into their treatment of women, which formed the basis of the character. Frank packed cracks a shotgun and hits the town. He spies on Tom Savini and his mustache as they take a drive with their date, played by Savini's actual girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
It doesn't take long for Tom to get the girl in the back seat, and that's when old Frank Zito decides to make his move. He creeps up to peep on all the kissing and caressing until he's spotted by the gal, who tells Savini they's gots to go. But it's too late for the horny couple. In a kill inspired by the Son of Sam, Frank leaps onto the car hood and gives Tom a surprise.
Oh!
Holy shit, that head exploded all over the place. That was insane. Absolutely an all-timer kill. The woman, covered in blood, screams as Frank points the gun at her for an eternity. We're talking like half a House of 1,000 Corpses shot here. It's psychological torture that becomes deadly when he adds her to the count with an up-close shotgun blast. This infamous sequence has one of the best behind-the-scenes stories of all time. It was filmed near the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, which connects Staten Island and Brooklyn. Savini already had a mold of his own head, which is why he was cast in the role. He packed the fake head with animal brains and 8 prophylactics filled with blood. Then, while filming with 3 slow-motion cameras, he blew it apart with an actual real-life shotgun.
So I'm like, well, how are you going to do the explosion? He said, well, I'm going to use live ammo. And so we're like, okay.
This was obviously super dangerous and also super fucking illegal, man. The crew had to clear out of the area within 60 seconds of firing the gun. They later tried to film some pickups, but the splattered brains had begun to smell so bad, they just dumped the car in the Hudson River.
Someone's going to find that car with this chicken wire body and this head and wonder, what soprano thing is this?
Right.
Frank's at the park scaring little girls on bikes when he notices he's being peeped at by a photog, a stylish one. Lady, I'm so sorry. He gets her name and address from the bag she left lying there and plans to make use of that info later. For now, he's gonna window shop for a new mannequin, one that can wear his next trophy scalp. That spells bad news for this nurse getting off her shift. Even though she reads about the killer in the newspaper, she turns down a ride from her friend and opts to walk home alone instead. Real smart. Her nurse friend is played by Sharon Mitchell, who previously worked with Lustig in The Violation of Claudia. She was Claudia. Many of Maniac's actresses were porn stars, which was pretty standard for this type of exploitation film. The nurse realizes she's being followed and runs down to a subway station, but slows herself down. Butterfinger Jones over here, but I digress. She hippity hops the turnstile, but can't get on the train before it leaves, and that spells crappy zoom-in trouble. In fact, make it crappy zoom-in double. The nurse ultimately runs and hides in a bathroom, but Zito never quits being the prowler. He sees a sign for the restroom and realizes his prey's probably there. I love the shot that pans from her hiding to him looking for her. It's simple but effective. After a long spell of silence, she leaves, thinking it's finally safe. But it ain't.
Gotcha.
Frank stabs her from behind and taunts her as she screams. Ah man, this weirdo's got problems, including a bayonet he has to wash now. Good going, genius! Lustig and Spinell wanted Maniac to focus on urban fears, like riding the subway at night, walking down an empty street, or getting home to an empty apartment. The lurid subject matter and graphic kills did not go without controversy. It was picketed by multiple women's groups and reported on by many a local news.
Maniac is
Of
considered
course.
the ultimate in explicit violence. By the time the movie is over, the audience will have seen a scalping, a shotgun blast to the head, and
Hey, you're gonna spoil the video.
Right.
Still, the stuff that actually wound up in the movie was reportedly less intense than some of the stuff pitched by Spinell.
At that table where we were thinking up effects, Joe Spinell would come up with stuff and said, no, Joe, no, we can't, we're not going to do that to a woman, you know.
Another murder, another scalp to nail onto a mannequin. Why's Frank look like yassified Robert Goulet here? Well, since we're 50 minutes in, we should probably get to some sort of story here. So Frank visits that photographer chick from the park, whose name is Anna.
Yes, my name is Frank Zito. You took my picture in the park. May I speak with you?
Whoa, holy shit, is that the same guy? Yep, Frank manages to look and act normal for Anna, mostly.
Listen, I'm the photographer, right?
Right.
What was that, Frank?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I thought he said. He charms her enough to get a date, and honestly, you can't blame her. This is not the Frank we know, crying about killing and talking to his dead mom. He almost slips a little during dinner, showing Anna a picture of the mom who messed him up so badly, but it doesn't knock him off the cliff, and instead, they have a shockingly pleasant evening. I love this scene's acting and chemistry. It's so good, the camera never cuts, instead just rotating around the actors as they do their thing. Anna's character was originally written for the late Daria Nicolodi, who appeared in several films directed by her husband Dario Argento. When that fell through, they instead cast Caroline Munro, who'd previously worked with Spinell in 1978's Star Crash.
Wow.
Munro had already gained prominence in multiple Hammer horror films, and as Naomi in The Spy Who Loved Me, which is a top 3 Bond film for show. Munro would go on to co-star with Spinell again 2 years later, in the last horror film. Anna gets back to her day job, photographing the world's most middling models. Seriously, they are bad. The Edge gals are lackluster, and Center Lady needs to dial it back a bit. It doesn't help that the sequence is absurdly long and set to some ridiculous showdown song.
Okay, keep that for 3.
What is that? Frank visits Anna at work to give her a stuffed animal. He meets one of the models, Rita, and you instantly know Frank is gonna fixate on her next. While they're doing their thing, he pockets Rita's locket, giving him an excuse to stop by her place that night. As he gives her the necklace back, he jams up the lock on her door, but she's none the wiser. That's why she strips down for some tubby time, giving this early slasher the requisite TNA. Oh, and B, like the other B. The V. Rita soaks in that thing for a good long while, like she were having a day at the spa. Good for her. Bad for her is that Frank has returned and is in her apartment now. After her bath, he tackles her to the ground, spilling her freshly brewed tea everywhere. Oh no! He takes her to the bedroom where he ties her to the bed and does his creepy talking thing.
And now we're back together again. I'll never let you go. Never.
After his heaving monologue, he takes out a switchblade, and when she begs him not to kill her, he gags her again. Then he pushes the knife straight into her torso, killing her with a solitary stab. Man, what is this guy's problem?
Mommy. Oh, Mommy.
Oh, right, his mommy. That's his problem. Probably why he's looking like a little kid right now, playing with some toys. It's sad, in a pathetic sort of way. Wait, but then he starts shooting at a target on his wall with a gosh dang gun? I mean, I assume this dude lives in an apartment. Don't he got neighbors? In keeping with the film's low budget, the interior of Frank's apartment was built by some dude whose name we don't know. Seriously, Spinell just met some random guy who convinced him to hire him as a production designer. According to Lustig, when they came to see the finished set, they realized the guy had built an actual apartment with immovable walls and running water. Spinell and the uncredited designer then sourced props, dolls, and mannequins to furnish the place, which is one of the most memorable parts of Maniac. Good job, unknown dude! Frank calls up Anna from a payphone and asks her on another date, but he says she's gotta be ready in 15 minutes. Pretty inconsiderate, Frank. You can't just expect her to drop everything.
I can be ready in 10.
Okay, I'll see you.
Okay, never mind. And he's off! Aw, man, the towers, too soon, movie. On the way to their date, Frank says he wants to stop by the cemetery and visit his mother's grave. He leaves a wreath by it, but they should maybe skip the prayer. The place is getting smokier than the Thriller video. Also, Frank's losing his cool.
Rita knew. Mine forever.
What you talking about?
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long, but I mean, once he was in front of his mother's grave, it's pretty predictable he'd snap. He chases Anna through the cemetery in a bunch of good tracking shots, but loses her among the stone and fog. That allows her to get the jump on him with a shovel. Oh shit, yeah, Anna, didn't know you had that in you. She runs away from him, and Frank has a total breakdown, complete with disembodied voices.
Mommy has to punish you.
Lord.
Mommy, please don't lock me in the closet.
For reminders of his past abuse, gets him bawling and bowing in front of his mama's grave. Oh shit, she's Carrie Whiting! Oh no, it wasn't real. I guess turn off the zombie alert. Maniac was shot in New York City during the cold months of November and December, which took its toll in unexpected ways. There were supposed to be maggots on Frank's dead mom here, but they all froze to death before they could shoot the close-ups. Frank stumbles back home to a shitty apartment where he sees a young woman in his bed, the same one he saw when he was strangling the sex worker to death, and whom we now can safely say is his mother, probably at the age she was when she abused him. He takes a good look at his mannequin collection. Oh, wait, you think him and the tourist trap guy would get along? I mean, they're both kind of softies.
Oh, wow.
How do I look, huh? How do
That's another one. Is that who that is? Tourist
Trap. Look.
Speaking of tourist trap, the mannequins all of a sudden come alive. Holy crap, man, things are getting real weird at the end here. I think those carry hands knocked us into crazy town. Frank's reanimated victims grab a plethora of weapons and use them to hack and slash at their killer. Between his screaming, the droning music, and the shots of these disturbing women, this whole scene is real messed up and actually ends up being pretty scary. And holy shit, then we get a crazy decapitation as Frank's head is ripped from his body. Wow! wow, that is gross and clearly fake, yeah, but still, it's fucking awesome. Savini wanted to use actual animal intestines here, but realized once he got on set that they were too big and wouldn't look human. So instead, he took the crew's leftover dinner of shrimp dip, Salisbury steak, and apple cores and stuffed it down the fake neck with condoms filled with blood. The absolute best part of this kill, though, is that it uses the same fake torso they used for Pamela Voorhees' beachy decapitation.
Oh, wow.
As awesome as the decapitation is, though, it doesn't count as a kill since it didn't actually happen. The next morning, 2 detectives storm Frank's building and enter his room, and it looks like the mannequins haven't moved an inch. Frank is really dead, so we can count him, but his head is still attached, which is lame. He's just got a blade in his belly and he's bled out. Womp womp. The cops shake their heads and leave, and the movie ends peacefully since Frank is absolutely positively dead. Haha, just kidding. The movie ends with a title card. How many New York lives did Zito zero out? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Oh, honey. You've been standing here this whole time looking like that? That won't do at all.
Lord have mercy.
Much better.
James a fool.
I counted 8 kills in Maniac, a standard slasher number. The victims consisted of 5 women and
Like the
3 men,
headshot,
giving this pie chart a
golden
red edge,
chainsaw.
or reg, if you will.
And-
We've only seen this
and
counter
in
break
top-
down twice
and
before. In
the
Prom
main
Night,
guys,
everyone's favorite
And the main guys that gonna be the dull machete.
Christmas kill
I could be
count was
wrong.
Revenge. With a runtime of 88 minutes, Maniac had a kill on average every 11 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Tom Savini's Disco Boy. I mean, I basically have to. This exploding head is the stuff of legend. I might have gone with Frank's death if the cool one had been real, but it wasn't, so, you know, that makes my job easier. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to Disco Girl.
Oh, Disco
shot in
Girl,
the face
okay,
with a
I'm
shotgun
wrong.
off screen. And that's it. Maniac
Okay,
came
I'm
out in
wrong.
1980.
The goal,
Director
but-
William Lustig helped produce a remake in 2012, which is done almost entirely through Frank Zito's first-person view. And when it's not, you see that he's played by Elijah Wood. Hell yeah, dude. I would love to look at that sometime. I've actually never seen it. But until next time, I'm James A. Janice.
Yeah, I did this because I did back to back of that Count the Dead with that the original and the remake. So yeah,
This is the kill count.
On the next kill count.
Welcome to Paris.
And we really want to see this because we already watched this, so we can skip this. So let's go to it.
Maniac. As always, I've got to point out that these are the types of movies that I love to cover. They spark the most joy in me. Maybe it's because they're the movies I grew up watching, or maybe it's because I feel they're very important to the horror genre, or maybe it's just because they're easier videos to make. A lot easier to make a kill count when like 10 minutes of the movie is spent on a chase scene. But it's also easier to write jokes about the weird shit going on in these movies. And you get stuff like blown apart heads with real shotguns.
So there you have it, though. This was a short, sweet one as well too. I'll say that, and like I said, cool one too. You know what I'm saying? The classic horror rules. Like I agree with James. The classic horror films is a good place in our house as well too, though. So other than that, next week I will try to pull a poll up, or maybe, but unless the next kill count is be something interesting. Ashley, you know all I can do. Let's check it out. Let's see what might be the kill count. Next kill count. And all you do it is go to Dead Me, which is I think the new one's out right now to dawn, and let's just see what might be it.
Informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Oh no! Yep. Nope. Next week is wait a minute. When it comes out? Hold on, when it comes out? Next week maybe set. No, I'm sorry. Next week maybe set. Hold on. So we're gonna do it. Let me see. $16. Oh, no, I cannot. Actually, I cannot because I haven't seen the first one. Nobody picked the first one for me yet. So there's that. So, anyways, Spartan Master 2 really likes, but I gotta watch the first one first. So other than that, And it will be a poll then. Still will be a poll then. Let's y'all have me do Puppet Master 1. So I have to add Puppet Master in the poll back in the poll somehow. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to your channel. It's your boy T signing off. One love.